I now reconvene to the regular meeting of the Board of Education at 7:09 p.m. with Blair, Fikes, Orozco, Na, and Cruz present. Before we begin, please silence all the electronic devices and note that these proceedings are being recorded. Pat?
The board met in closed session from 5:15 to 7:01 p.m. regarding conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, student discipline, conference with labor negotiators, ACT and CSCA, public employee discipline dismissal release, public employee appointment coordinator of secondary curriculum. The board voted to appoint Michelle Eckersall as coordinator of secondary curriculum with an effective date to be determined, with Fikes, Blair, Na, Orozco, and Cruz voting yes. No further action was taken, which requires public disclosure.
Leading to the Pledge of Allegiance tonight is Jordan Bishop.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's showcase, Chino Hills High School Chamber Singers.
The American spiritual is a music form unique to the United States and was created during the time of the Civil War and of slavery. A spiritual is a religious-based song created while slaves were working in the fields, often containing code words for the Underground Railroad and of hope for freedom. These songs were passed down through the years and eventually written down. With the abolition of slavery in 1865, this music developed into a genre that is well loved as a crucial part of American history. From the style, music evolved into jazz, gospel, soul, and R&B. We are excited to perform the spiritual, Didn't My Lord Deliver Daniel, for you this evening. The spiritual poses the question, if Daniel was saved from death in the lion's den, then why not every man? This American spiritual is a song full of hope of freedom for slavery and is really fun to sing. Arranged by Stacey V. Gibbs, here is Didn't My Lord Deliver Daniel.
every man. I set my foot on the gospel ship, and the ship began to sail. And it landed me down on Canaan shore, and I haven't had any more yet. Did my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Did my Lord deliver Daniel, and what else every man?
The wind blows east and the wind blows west, it blows like a judgment day.
Hallelujah!
And every poor sinner that never did pray will be glad to pray that day.
Oh, did my Lord deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel? Did my Lord deliver Daniel, and what else every man? Did he deliver Daniel from Jonah, from the belly of the whale, from the gibbering chill, from the fiery furnace? Did my Lord deliver Daniel, and what else every man? Did he deliver Daniel
Yes.
from the lion's den?
Yes, from the belly of the whale,
From the Hebrew chilling, yes.
from the fiery furnace.
Did my Lord deliver Daniel, then what else every man? Then what else every man? Then
Why not?
every man?
Break time. Print it out. I apologize. We'll have a bit of a break time in between.
That was beautiful. That was great.
Excellent. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good job. Comments from Student Representative Carlos?
No comment. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and be safe.
Thank you. Next, our Employee Representative, Todd Hancock, ACT.
Let me just congratulate the choir. I love their music. That second piece was, I was actually dancing back there as best I can. Funny, it's a good thing I was in the back. But yeah, I really love the music. Again, I'm just amazed. I also want to wish everybody a safe Thanksgiving and having some time with family and friends. And like to have all the teachers enjoy the week off and be able to have some time to revamp. I also want to congratulate Leah Fellows on their new position. We had a long meeting today, and she's going to do great. So appreciate that a lot. I want to congratulate Mr. Cruz, Mr. Na, and Mr. Hernandez-Blair for their re-election to the board. Congratulations on that. I am still very frustrated on how negative the campaign became. It saddened me to hear what Mr. Cruz stated from the dais at the end of the last board meeting. It was misleading, inaccurate, and improper, especially those comments expressed towards bargaining. And may I point out, it was also against board policy. With that said, I hope we can put aside this and past campaigns and put out our own personal agendas away and focus on what is best for our district. Starting with our students and understanding when we help and assist our teachers, we are assisting and helping our students. This also goes with the classified staff as well. If you really value the teachers in this district, then I challenge you to meet with us and hear our issues and work together to find solutions to the very problems we face each and every day. It is not about you, and it's not about me. We represent a group of very valuable people who are being asked to do the most important job in the world, educate our children, and help them reach their dreams and full potential. If you and I really mean what we say about how we feel about our responsibilities, then we need to put this election behind us and do what is right. Right for students, right for our community, and by so doing, it is right for each one of us. A quote that I actually got off of Facebook said, "Some of the most incredible people I know voted for Donald Trump, and some of the most incredible people I know voted for Hillary Clinton. The people that I know that voted for Trump are not racist or hateful, and the people that voted for Hillary Clinton are not hateful and intolerable. If you are someone who woke up this morning and is going to start seeing people as who they voted for and not as the person you have always known them to be, then you are as what is wrong with America. I will never think any less of any person who has a different views than me, because some of the most beautiful, inspirational people I know will disagree with what I believe all day long. But at the end of the day, they are still that beautiful, inspirational person I've always known them as. Don't think less of people because some of their beliefs don't align with yours, and don't lose the quality people in your life because you chose to hate over love. I hope we can do the right thing."
Denise Arroyo, President CSEA.
Good evening. I do want to comment on Chino Hills High School and their chamber singers. I have a passion for chamber singers, and parents should be very proud of their children in chamber singers because those are the best of the high schools. And you just don't become a chamber singer. You have to try out, so it's a high honor for the students and the parents. I would like to congratulate the incumbents who were reelected to the school board. I'm sure it was a very exhausting campaign for all of you. I do want to express the best of luck to Mia Ontiveros, Joe Schaefer, and Don Bridge on their future, and I'm sure they'll still be hanging around at school board meetings. Right? Yes. I've been pretty quiet at the last few meetings. Don't worry, Mr. Joseph. I wanted to see if Proposition 55 was going to pass. So it did. Well, it passed, so now I'm back at the podium pleading my case for restoration. Okay? CSEA had many positions and days restored, and as president, I am very grateful to the district and the school board for making it happen. However, there are other positions that have not been restored. These positions were eliminated and never looked at, okay? I also have a concern of lack of staffing at some of our schools. We have some schools that have enrollment like 455, I get it. But we have other schools that are 1,000, 1,100, and we can't, we need to have adequate staffing for the school district to succeed in their goals. So I just hope that the district will work with CSCA and see what we can do. I did meet with Dr. Infield regarding the Paraeducator Conference. We have 17 instructional aides who are interested in attending. I was hoping for more, but word of mouth is the best advertisement. So I'm hoping when they come back from this conference, they can share. I did have some bus drivers that were interested, and I shared this with Dr. Infield, and it was late coming because a lot of our bus drivers do work with special needs. They transport, they work with them when they're wheelchairs and such. So I said, let's see what happens this year, and maybe next year we can then open up to our transportation. And I still encourage management to attend this conference and board. It's a great conference. There's teachers that attend as well. It's a very good conference for all. So with that said, Dr. Infield, I thank you very much for opening your checkbook. And on a much sadder note, CSEA in Chino Valley lost one of our own, Miss Alma Segura. She worked for the district for 11 years. She was a custodian at the PDC and alternative ed. She also has a daughter who works at the PDC and a husband that works at Hidden Trails as well. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her family. And Thanksgiving is next week. Please take time to spend with your family and friends, and we do have so much to be thankful for. Thank you.
Yvette Farley, Champ.
Good evening. Couple of announcements with Champ. We do have our AXA nominations will be coming up in the upcoming month. Also, we're sponsoring our food and toy drive for the Hope Center again this year. So please feel free to donate. As we prepare ourselves for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday, many of us will be reflecting on our immediate blessings, sharing what we are thankful for, and breaking bread with our loved ones around the dinner table. My thoughts immediately go to the planning and hard work that is put forth in preparing for such a feast. And in the end, when I reflect on that day, I always come to the same conclusion. It is simple. I am just thankful I have the people I care about sitting at my table. I would like to share with you something that was shared with me by my brother. In a small town, the people were greatly divided regarding what official would be the first up in a hot air balloon. The balloon went up without a glitch, but the town remained divided until the balloon began to be tossed to and fro by strong winds, and the official screamed for help. The engineer yelled instructions. Strong men grabbed their ropes and reduced the flame, and others dropped to their knees in prayer. At first it looked as if if all were lost, but the people's hard work and commitment to someone and something greater than themselves saved the day. I would like to take this moment to publicly thank our teaching staff, our classified staff, and our management team. That when at times when it appears that we are divided and we feel as if we are being tossed to and fro by the strong winds of the educational setting, we have a team of people who guide us with instruction, provide the wisdom that gives us the strength to hold on, and yes, even a group of people who drop to their knees in prayer when it looks as if all is lost. But our CVUSD family continues to work hard and show their commitment to the children in our community. And this action is what saves the day. And for this, Champ thanks you. Thank you.
Mike Krieger, Fire Board. Melissa Hagman's office.
Hello, good evening. My name is Melissa Campani, and I am here representing Supervisor Kurt Hagman. Just a couple of quick community announcements, if I may. Tomorrow, we are hosting a Veterans Appreciation Day event, and it's going to be a very nice event. I know that it's going to be tomorrow from 10 to 1 at the Westwind Community Center, and that is in the City of Ontario. And we're very happy to say that we have lots of community partners, nonprofit organizations. It's going to be part work, job fair, and then we have also our county partners there in attendance. So if you know any veterans who have any questions on any of these people, please, if they have a chance, please have them stop by. And also a save the date that we'd like to invite the school board to, and also all of the constituents of the 4th District. Supervisor Hagman will be hosting a Christmas open house, and that will be on December the 8th from 5:30 to 7:30. And that will be held at the City of Chino Hills. Their downstairs areas where we will be hosting that event. So we hope that you can all join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. had any requests to speak?
38.
38. Speakers will be called in the order the request was received. Please listen for your name and be prepared to approach the podium. Any comments on the agenda items will be accepted during consideration of that item. Once the board has commenced deliberations on a particular issue, speaker cards will not be accepted. The board is very interested in your comments, but please bear in mind that the board typically does not respond to comments during this time on the agenda, as it is reserved specifically for public comments. Ms. Fikes?
Speakers, you will have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. Please begin your comments at the green light. The yellow light indicates you have 30 seconds in which to complete your comments. The red light indicates your time is over. And before you begin your comments, please adjust the microphone as necessary so you can be clearly heard. And audience members, please refrain from making comments while speakers are at the podium, as it's disrespectful and disruptive.
Speakers, please remember that in accordance with Board Bylaw 9323, Bylaws of the Board Meeting Conduct, limit remarks to 3 minutes total for all remarks. If a topic has been covered, please limit remarks to new points. The board would like to remind you that there is an existing Board Policy 1312.1 for anyone who wishes to file a complaint against a district employee. Please follow that procedure. Listen for your name and be prepared to approach the podium as your name is called. No speaker shall exceed the 3-minute limit. The first speaker is Aya Celine Angeles, followed by Jordan Bishop, followed by Mary Helen Martinez.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Joseph and guests. Hello, my name is Aya Angeles. I am one of the students attending OPA Chino Valley. I'm in 5th grade now and have been attending OPA since kindergarten. I am doing very well in OPA. I am a straight A and a GATE student in my school, and I enjoy very much my Chinese class, choir, musicals, band, Odyssey of the Mind, and BKE, which stands for Be Kind to Everyone Club. I love OPA because there are many activities and classes that I can join, such as Taekwondo, world language, choir and band, art, volleyball, football, basketball, debate, chess club, track, and Lego club. The teachers help out with a lot of clubs, and we enjoy learning in different ways. Their activities give me confidence in myself and help me become to be a good person. There are lots of parents, volunteers to help students out like me. I love coming to school every day, and teachers teach us in simple ways that are fun. People are friendly, and I see happy faces all the time. Please forgive OPA if my school had made any mistakes before. Please do not close it down because of the mistakes of one or more persons. We are taught in school and our home that we can fix a problem by talking about it and asking for forgiveness. I hope the adults can talk about this problem and fix it. It hurts me so much to imagine my school closing down because I love the school very much. My classmates and I have been working very hard to get high grades and scores so our family and our school will be proud of us. Despite our hard work, my school might be closing. You have the power to keep our school open. How would you feel if your workplace that you really love closed down? I know that I am one small voice, but I've come to represent my classmates, my teachers, and my school. Please do not break our hearts. I hope you will give us another chance. Gracias, mercy, sheshe, salama, and thank you.
Jordan Bishop, Mary Ellen Martinez, and Brienne Karasik.
Hello everyone, my name is Jordan Bishop. I will also be speaking on behalf of my little sister, Brooke Bishop. I'm a senior at Ayala High School, and I've been playing on the varsity volleyball team since my freshman year, and I've been a captain on the team for 2 years. I'm here to talk to you today because my heart is saddened at the fact that the only things you have heard about my coach, Bernie Wendling, are negative. I'm here to tell you my experience with Coach Wendling. Freshman year, I was pulled up to varsity as a very scared, unconfident player. Over the years, I have struggled with many things on the volleyball court when it comes to confidence. I had many games that ended in tears and me being very frustrated with myself. However, Coach was always there for me. He pushed me to be my best and to never settle. He always let me know that he believes in me and that he's proud of me. I've been playing club volleyball for 6 years now, and I've had very tough coaches. Being one who's very sensitive, I do not respond well to coaches who yell and get frustrated. Coach Wendling has never been one to do so. I believe that Coach Wendling has built me into a better person and player. Coach Wendling would give me goals to reach every season, and I still have those sticky notes in my room. I also had him as a geometry teacher, and I have not been very good at math, and he would always take time to help me understand. Also, he would spend almost an hour after every practice my sophomore and freshman year because he was devoted to making me into a good player. He built up my confidence when I had none. I have never had a coach who believed in me as much as he did, and it breaks my heart to know that the future players will never be able to have the coach that I did. I have never had a coach who cared so much about a team and the sport. He would make practices fun and lighthearted, and he would take us to In-N-Out after a big win and buy us all dinner with his own money. These memories I will cherish for the rest of my volleyball career, and I will always remember the advice and encouragement he gave me. He pushed me to be my best. He's been coaching for almost 30 years, and it breaks my heart that he felt like he needed to leave the thing he loves to do the most. I need to let you all know that Coach Wendling is the best coach I've ever had. He's sacrificed so many things for my team, and he's done so much for me and my family. My little sister, who is a freshman on varsity this year, has been looking forward to playing for Coach Wendling ever since I was a freshman. I truly believe that without him, Ayala volleyball will never be the same. I would not be the person or player that I am today without him. Thank you for your time, and I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Mary Ellen Martinez, followed by Brianna Karasik, followed by Nicole Clavel.
Hi, I'm Mary Martinez. I'm here with some of my classmates. I'm here representing Don Lugo and also the club I'm in. I'm currently the president of We Remember. Some of you might know what that is. It's basically a club where we honor and help our vets. We invite them to our school, let our juniors interview them about their whole military experience. And it's a really good experience because we feed them breakfast and lunch. And I'm here just telling everyone so you guys know. And it's on April 20th. And we still accept donations for anything. And if you guys have any vets that you know, please give me their addresses and their names because they're due tomorrow. So that would be really nice. And thank you.
Madam Clerk, can you ask the audience to refrain from clapping until the end of the speakers so other people can hear their names being called? Ask the audience to
Please refrain from clapping between the speakers.
Thank you. So people can hear their names being called. Brianna Karasik, followed by Nicole Clavel, followed by Erin Montgomery.
My name is Brianna Karasik. I am a junior at Ayala High School. I've been playing for Coach Wendling since I was a freshman, and I'm here tonight because I watched the last board meeting online where some of my teammates said some horrible things about my coach. And I want to tell you who he really is. I had a different experience throughout my years playing for him. My coach isn't perfect, but he sure isn't a bully. Some of the girls claim he doesn't give constructive criticism, but that's not true. If you do something wrong, he corrects you. If you do something good, he compliments you. He may not jump up and down like these girls expect him to, but he does get excited. Coach cares for us very much. He cares so much to the point where he has to give us what we call the dad talk before we go to homecoming. If you're injured, he makes sure you're okay to play. He'll constantly ask you how you're feeling. Do supposed bullies care how you feel? Coach Wendling is one of the best coaches I've had. Not only was his coaching helpful for me, but he made me into a better person. We did not always get along, but that's like every sport. That's like family. I do consider Coach to be a part of my family. I look forward to having conversations with him because you can tell he is really interested in what I have to say. My point is, Coach is caring. He would never say anything to intentionally hurt someone. It's a shame it has come to this, and I had one more year of volleyball, and now my amazing coach isn't going to be able to coach me anymore. Thank you.
Nicole Clavel, followed by Erin Montgomery, followed by Candace Nash.
The true mark of maturity is when somebody hurts you and you try to understand their situation instead of trying to hurt them back. During my first year on varsity volleyball team at Ayala High School, I had a couple experiences where I can relate to how my teammates feel who are against Wendling. I was sent down to JV, like my other teammates, because of my lack of confidence in going after the ball. I remember that day perfectly, and just remember crying dramatically. It wasn't until after a couple minutes of crying that it clicked in my mind that I could either take it personally and let it negatively affect me, or I can take it as an opportunity to prove myself. It wasn't until that moment I finally stopped crying, and I chose to have the best attitude on JV and have the best practice I could. The next day, my confidence escalated, and from that moment on, I was the loudest player on the varsity court. I worked my butt off and had a good attitude at every practice, no matter how bad my day went. As long as a lot of girls would come into practice hating life and not wanting to be there, and that irritated me as a teammate, and I saw how it affected Coach Wendling. His intentions weren't to put us down or bully us. His goal was to make us stronger in the way he knew how. Every parent disciplines and teaches their children in the way they think is best. But does that mean that's the right way? That's the best way? No. There is a difference between teaching someone and training someone. Teaching someone is just telling them what to do and how to do it, which usually doesn't get the point across. Most people learn by experience, by having to go through something hard and challenging. Coach Wendling has a love and passion for the game of volleyball, but if someone took the time to really get to know him outside of the sports world, they would find that he has a side of him that loves to grow spiritually and mentally. Coach would always tell us to find something outside of practice that we can turn to that would help us to tune into our inner self and our thoughts and help us focus and feel peace within us. He started buying us books like these, The Winner Within and 10-Minute Toughness, and these just taught life lessons and how to be a better teammate and a better person in general. I know that he wanted us to read them, and so we could obtain the same knowledge as he did. Being on the team for 3 years and knowing my teammates, I know at least half of the team did not read them, but if they did, they would have a better understanding of the atmosphere he was trying to create at practice. I believe you play the way you practice, and that requires the players to give their 110%. His most memorable question was, what two things do you have full control over? And we would all say together, attitude and energy. Because of his dedication and passion for volleyball, I was able to discover my love for the sport as well. Thank you for your time and attention.
Erin Montgomery, followed by Candace Nash, followed by Lori Nash.
Hello, my name is Erin Montgomery, and I'm a junior at Ayala High School, and I'm on the girls' varsity volleyball team. I have played volleyball for 2 years, both years under the instruction of Coach Wendling. I came into volleyball knowing very little, but being enthusiastic to learn. Wendling has taught me most of what I know about volleyball today, and has always encouraged me to get better. If anyone ever wanted to practice more, he was willing to give us time to help them, and often went out of his way to help students improve their skills on the court. One example of his dedication came just before the beginning of our season. He wanted to help my team get hyped for it, so he organized a trip for us all to go watch the men's and women's volleyball team practice before they left for the Rio Olympics. This act proved to me that he cared about the team and loved to coach all of us. Personally, I found this trip to be effective. Because of Mr. Wendling's efforts to help us all, I was excited to start the season. He always encouraged my team to play to the best of our ability and always did his best to be supportive through all of our ups and downs. And I feel he was the same in the way he treated us individually. Throughout the season, he never once criticized me in a way that was malicious or made me feel worthless. He always used constructive criticism to try to help me succeed or get better, and I am thankful for what he has taught me. Mr. Wendling has done many great things for the Ayala volleyball team, and I feel we are truly losing a great coach and mentor with his resignation. Thank you.
Candace Nash, followed by Lori Nash, followed by Pamela Rokovitz.
My name is Candace Nash, and I am a previous player and current coach for the Ayala High School volleyball team. I am here to speak in support of our head coach, Bernie Wendling. Many allegations have been made against him in the previous months, and I personally believe that his voice has yet to be heard. I feel it's important that the board knows the feelings about him are not one-sided, and many people support him and his coaching style. My volleyball career started with Coach Wendling in the summer of 2009 when I was a freshman. And in my sophomore year, I tried to make the leap from the freshman team to the varsity team. Coach was honest with me that it would be a huge leap, but he gave me a chance. I felt like I was given a fair opportunity, the same opportunity that all my teammates have received, and despite not making the varsity team, I did not give up. Coach continued to let me practice with varsity throughout the summer, but always reminded me I wasn't ready yet. He never said it in a demeaning way, and he always recognized my hard work. Throughout this season, I consistently was teetering between the JV and varsity level. After getting my hopes up, Coach always saw my dedication and pulled me up permanently halfway through the season. My remaining years on varsity, though, were just the same. Coach never once told me I sucked, but he did tell me that he has coached better liberos than me. I use that as motivation, not as a way of tearing me down. I played for a previous player of coaches from the Claremont men's team, and he always told me, just wait until your senior year and you'll understand Coach. I wasn't his favorite person, as many may assume. I was the senior that was pinned against a sophomore my senior year for the starting position, and she was one of my friends. I took the time to speak with him on my own to get a better understanding of his expectations. I ended up earning the title, but it was because I listened to him and I showed him that this was important to me. I didn't get upset that I had to compete with my friend because regardless of the outcome, we were still going to be friends. My senior year still wasn't a walk in the park. Coach tells this story to every team since this has happened, but Summer League of my senior year, we played Norco High School, and he pulled me out and said, "You are not the best libero in the gym, but you should be." And obviously I got mad at him, but I was having a bad game and he knew I was better than what I was giving the team. From that game forward, he never had to pull me out of a match because I finally understood that all he wanted from me was my 100% effort. That's what so many players are confused about. Coach takes this game seriously, and this just isn't a recreational sport that you take to get out of PE or because you enjoy it. At Ayala, this is serious to Coach, and we expect every player to show up to practice with their full effort and a good attitude. As a coach, my main point would be if Coach was really mentally and verbally abusive, why would I return and be a part of his coaching staff for the past 4 years? I had verbally and mentally abusive coaches when I played sports in the past, and I removed myself from that situation when it started to affect me. And I'm only one of the many players that have returned to Coach with him. Coach cares about these girls as if they were his own daughters, and he pushes us and works so hard for us. Every time before a dance, like they said, he would give us his dad talk. And on top of that, he always made sure we had whatever we needed and still does to this day. And he truly cares about the girls and this program. As I address these allegations...
I'm sorry, you're out of time.
Lori Nash, followed by Pamela Rokovitz, followed by Jackie Wendling.
I'll be continuing for my daughter. As I address these allegations made against him, I want to make it known that I am an eyewitness to the majority, if not all the events these girls are trying to use against him. I attended every sand practice at his home, and the girls were never put in awkward or compromising situations. I also attended every practice throughout the summer, optional and mandatory. Coach used the optional practice to help the girls advance in whatever they wanted. If they asked him where they were at currently, he would honestly give his opinion about where he sees them. As a coach, that is exactly what I would do, and as a player, that's exactly what I would want to hear. He never told them they sucked and never used demeaning words towards them. He never asked girls inappropriate questions or suggested they were doing derogatory things, such as drugs, or as a current player previously claimed. Coach was as professional as he could be when speaking with the girls. He ensured that I was always within earshot and told me that, and I quote, "If I ever say anything that would be out of line, make sure to stop me." I can honestly say that in the seasons I coached with him, only once did I have to stop him at the St. Lucy's game. He gave the girls an opportunity to vent their emotions. This resulted in one player yelling hurtful comments at her teammates, and almost the entire team was in tears because of these comments. Coach recognized this and put a stop to it. He told her to stop pointing out everyone else's flaws and realized that she played like crap too. Yes, he told her she played like crap. Was that the best word choice? No. But in my opinion, Coach had to put a stop to her rant and defend the girls on the team before it got out of hand. The only thing I had to say was that this should never and will never happen again. In front of Coach and the girls, I said to save the venting for your parents because this is not the environment to do it in. I told them they need to stay united as a team, and what just happened, if we continue to let it happen, will tear the team apart. Aside from this instance, I can honestly say Coach never verbally or mentally abused these girls. He has created a long legacy of love for the game of volleyball, and I think that will shine clearly tonight. As parents and girls that are saying these slanderous claims against him, please reevaluate the situation before making these claims. If these parents truly approached him, the issues would not have progressed. But they did not reach out to him. Instead of getting his side of the story, these parents just believed everything out of their daughters' mouths. Instead of speaking to me and asking me what was going on, they went straight to administration. They started an investigation, and that made and got mad at Mr. Reed for not meeting with them, when rules make it impossible for Mr. Reed to discuss these confidential issues with anyone. The decision was made, and these parents weren't happy about it. As a former player and coach, I simply ask that you board members let Coach Wendling be heard. I hope you realize that the love for him as coach is stronger than
I'm sorry, you're out of time.
Pamela Rokovitz, followed by Jackie Wendling, followed by Van Bozelen.
Good evening. My name is Pamela Rokovitz, and I'm an engineering manager with the large communications corporation. As part of my job, my responsibilities include making a decision and determination on whether or not to hire or not hire young individuals with engineering degrees. I am also blessed and privileged to be Bernie Wendling's sister. I'm horrified that I need to be here standing in front of a group of strangers to defend my brother's character. Bernie is one of the most outstanding, loyal, ethical, and caring people I have ever known in my life. I have watched and listened to Bernie year after year as he agonizes over each and every girls' volleyball team he's ever coached, including both club and Ayala High School. He cares so much about supporting each and every girl to strive to obtain excellence and be the very best they can be. Bernie has made great personal sacrifices to be a steadfast and strong leader and coach. We are blessed to still have both of our parents living, each of whom have ongoing health issues. Bernie has chosen over and over to sacrifice his personal opportunities to enjoy his family because he has not wanted to miss out on supporting the girls' teams for games, practices, tournaments, extra time, you name it. I have personally felt this sacrifice. It saddens me greatly that we seem to be empowering young women to have totally undeserved feelings of entitlement. If and when they ever do leave the safety and security of their parents' homes and educational institutions, some of them will be completely lacking in life skills that they will need to face the real world and the real working environment. Thank you.
Jackie Wendling, followed by Van Bozelen, followed by Vincent Gutierrez.
Good evening, Board. My name is Jackie Wendling. I am an athlete and started competing at the age of 3 in swimming and have continued to compete throughout my life. I continue to compete to this day. At 60, I'm still in karate. I have taught for the Chino Valley Unified School District, coached for you in 2 schools. I coached with my husband at Ayala High School in 2006. Started coaching at the age of 18 and have continued to do that. That's obvious. In 2006, I sat on the bench at every single game, went to every single practice. 2006, we had the opportunity to go to CIF and were the semifinalists. My husband is very intense and passionate about volleyball. He's also passionate about seeing these young women enjoy the sport and learn to love volleyball and to pass it on. Does he send girls with poor attitude and little effort to JV? Yes, he does. It is to inspire them to correct their attitude, to be a good teammate, to learn to put forth effort. He expects the girls to leave everything out on the floor and work as a team to support each other. He calls them to account for their words, their actions on the court. He expects the girls to treat each other with respect. just what you would expect from an adult to guide our youth into the adult world to try and help them to succeed with the choices that they make. I would like to get a few facts straight as well. The Iowa Varsity Volleyball girls have won league titles in 2002, 2003, 06, and 07. They went to CIF quarterfinals in 03 and semifinals in 06 and 07. Those are the banners that are hanging in Ayala's gym right now. He was also voted Coach of the Year in 99, 03, and 06. Does he tell parents that to be successful in volleyball and get a scholarship, the girls should play club ball? Yes, because that's true. It's very, very competitive. Does this guarantee the girls a spot on the team? No. That is earned. Has he made some poor choices? Yes, we all have, but we've learned from them, and he doesn't repeat them. Here are a few things that you should know about my husband, the bully of a coach. He runs a summer tournament every year and tournaments during the year to afford the best for his girls and offset costs so parents don't have to spend so much money. He tells the girls to respect themselves, their bodies. He informs parents when he observes their daughters hanging out with the wrong crowd. He treats the girls to in and out when they win. He's taken them to the national, not taken them, he's gotten them access to the national men's and women's teams. The question is, what is this teaching our youth? That you don't have to tell the truth. You put words in someone's mouth, take situations out of context, misrepresent the truth, take a detail out, put a detail in, use the right buzzwords, bully, demeaning.
I'm sorry, you're out of time.
And they have
Van Bozelin,
no state.
followed by Vincent Gutierrez, followed by Tammy Bishop.
Good evening, school board. I take it as an honor to follow Jackie. Hope I don't get emotional. I didn't write anything down. I'm Vaughn Bazoyan. I am a parent of 4 kids that have gone through Ayala High School. All 4 have gone through Bernie's math class and been successful. 2 of my girls have been on his volleyball team. The oldest one graduated from Concordia in Irvine, successful in volleyball, won a national title and successfully graduated and now is in a career. My older boys at San Diego Christian playing baseball. My youngest daughter, who played for Bernie for 4 years on varsity, is at Dartmouth in an Ivy League school playing volleyball. That doesn't happen unless somebody motivates them, creates an environment for them. My youngest son, by the way, just committed last week to Union University for baseball. All of this comes from Ayala High School. What comes from Ayala High School in volleyball is an individual, and you can vouch for it, he's not doing it for the money. Because I coached as an assistant coach for water polo at Ayala after I retired. And I'll tell you what, if you're doing it for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. He's not in it for the money. He's in it for a product, an item. He loves volleyball at Ayala more than anybody I've ever known. For him to be talked to as the way these people have described him, yes, he's tough. He's driven my girls to the point where it's a pleasure to be around him. I'm still friends with him. I don't have any beef with him and the way he does things. When you talk about Ayala volleyball, you talk about the way this gentleman creates an environment for the girls to become successful and to invite them into an environment. This is an individual who built a sand volleyball court that everybody's talking about. I'm sure the board funded that, right? You guys all pitched in and money came from the school. It didn't come from them, did it? I didn't think so. This is something that he does on his own, that he does with passion and with love. Yes, nobody's perfect. The last perfect gentleman they nailed to a cross. As you notice, I printed a t-shirt for when I coach baseball and pony baseball. I've coached all my life for all my kids, soccer, I didn't do volleyball because I don't know anything about it. But soccer, baseball, and anything else that the kids were involved in. It is basically what it is. You coach 12 kids and you manage 24 adults. What the adults instill into their children and how they become successful is what makes them what they are. We entrust them to a coach for 3 hours a day for 1 season. And we pray, as parents, that your kid becomes successful. And let's face it, not everybody is going to play college volleyball. It's not going to happen. And I know that Bernie puts as much effort into each one of the individuals so that they each become successful. But realistically, it doesn't happen and feelings get hurt. And the society that we're growing into, the trophy society, we're going to have to move away from it sooner or later.
I'm sorry, you're out of time.
Vincent Gutierrez, followed by Tammy Bishop, followed by Joe Schaefer.
My name is Vincent Gutierrez, and I am a graduate from Ayala High School. I attended the Alternative Education Center during the 2014-2015 school year. The Alternative Education Center was like a second chance for me. It allowed me to catch up on credits when I fell behind in school. It also allowed me to get ahead on credits for my schedule was not impacted in the next semester. The dedicated staff not only helped me, but as well as the other students who attended. All the teachers who worked together to make sure each and every student was learning and not falling behind in any of their classes. If any student showed any sign of slacking, one of the teachers would email or call the student to see what they could do to help the student finish the assignment or their class in an efficient or in a timely manner. Me as well as the other students who attended school at the AEC all are fortunate enough to have this program in our school district, because some districts can't afford to have this program because of budgets that they run on, which often leads to high school dropouts. Without the staff at the Alternative Education Center, a lot of students wouldn't be graduating, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to walk with my friends and classmates during the 2016 graduation. So I, and surely the other students, are very grateful for the opportunity that our district and teachers have given us. I hope that the teachers of the Alternative Education Center get the opportunity to keep helping students for many years to come. Thank you.
Tammy Bishop, followed by Joe Schaefer, followed by Alyssa Swatek.
Hello, my name's Tammy Bishop. I speak on behalf of myself and my husband, Bob. We have two daughters who play for Coach Wendling at Ayala High School. Jordan is a senior who is a 4-year varsity player and is court captain and also led you in the Pledge of Allegiance today. Our other daughter is Brooke Bishop, who is a freshman and was his starting outside hitter. Also, I have been his team mom for 3 years and have had the pleasure of assisting him with these amazing girls and families. Coach is a great man. He loves the girls and he loves the sport.
He has devoted countless hours to this program, especially when he had tournaments. We had 3 or 4 tournaments per year, and he would spend over 12 hours a day. Also, he was always there for the girls and parents whenever we needed him. He would always do things for the girls, like give them candy buckets for Halloween. He would take them to breakfast on Thursday morning after practice that he pays for himself. He would take them to see the national teams play before the Olympics. It was an amazing for a few of us parents, too. One of my most memorable moments it was. I was probably more excited about the Olympic team than the girls were. He is always very much by the rules and watches out for the girls like they were his daughters. He won't allow any guy coaches to be friends with any of the girls on social media. Coach did a lot of things for my girls, especially for Jordan. He talked to college coaches and showed videos of Jordan's play to them for their opinion on what coaches would be a good fit for her. In fact, a coach that he spoke to recently contacted Jordan to let her know that she's his top recruit. There's also another coach that he spoke to that wants Jordan to attend his college as well. He's done more for Jordan's college career than her volleyball club has, and we pay lots of money for that club. He gives Jordan sticky notes that she still has in her room to encourage her in her play, giving her reachable goals that she'll never forget. He's been overseeing this program for over 15 years. He's one of my favorite coaches that my girls have ever had, and we've had quite a few. He was always pleased if they played well. They didn't have to necessarily win, just play well. He was their biggest fan. In 4 years, I've never heard any parents complain about him until this year. He's always positive and encouraging. He would even encourage my now freshman before she was in the program. He would joke with her about subbing her in for her sister on senior night. That never happened, as both my girls got to play together on the court. That was awesome to see. He would joke around also with my senior Jordan by calling her a slacker. She always knew he was joking when he called her that. She's anything but a slacker. I've only heard him encourage the girls by saying this is a great group and they can do great things. I even encouraged a few girls to come to the school because of him. Is he perfect? No. He'd be the first one to tell you that. Are we perfect? No. No matter what, I fall back on what I know of him, that he loves the girls and he loves the game. Thank you for your time.
Joe Schaefer, followed by Alyssa Swatek, followed by Andy Karasik.
Good evening. No speech tonight, thankfully, just a couple of quick comments.
First, I'd like to acknowledge the fantastic performance from the young folks at Chino Hills High tonight. That was truly amazing. I'd also like to congratulate the 3 incumbents on their reelection. I quickly learned how difficult it is to run a campaign, and I know at times this campaign got very contentious, and I'm hoping as adults that we can put that all behind us and do what we're all here for, and that's to look out for the best interests of the students of this district. I know that we don't always agree on things, and hopefully we can put those differences aside and make sure that we're providing every opportunity for the students of this district and provide them with the best public education possible. James, I know you and I agree on at least one thing. I talked for several months about implementing some programs in some surrounding districts that have been very successful. Those like Troy Tech and the IB program over at Troy High School in Fullerton, where I'm a graduate from. Diamond Bar High School also has an IB program. If we can implement programs like that in this district, not only will we retain the students that we're losing, but we'll also gain some from the surrounding districts. Those are the types of things that I hope this board puts forward, and I hope that you guys will try to put programs in place like that that are going to move this district forward. I look forward to helping in any way I can, and again, I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving next week. Thank you.
Alyssa Swatek, followed by Andy Karasik, followed by Greg Karasik.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alyssa Swatek, class of 2008 from Ayala High School. I'm also here on behalf of my sister, Ashley Swatek, class of 2012. I am here today to share my experiences in support of Coach Wendling, a coach, a teacher, and my friend. Both my sister and I played 4 years under Coach Wendling and continued to be successful in college, continuing to play volleyball as well. Not only did we play as a player for Coach, we also continued to give our support as assistant coaches to the volleyball program. It has saddened me to watch the speeches that were given 2 weeks ago from a couple girls that I actually coached myself. To listen to your words that were said and how many of you felt belittled through the years. I can hear your pain in your voice, and I'm sorry that is the memory that you have from this program. But just so you know, that is not what Coach's intentions were. If you do the math, the Swatek siblings were in the program 8 years in a row. I remember the first day of tryouts, walking in with my marshmallow-looking knee pads. Never had touched a volleyball in my life, scared out of my mind to make a mistake. And thank you, Mr. Brazoin, for being the first person to tear up on the stand. Flash forward 8 years, finishing my career as an All-American. I can honestly say that I wouldn't be here where I am today without the lessons that I learned on the court and the life lessons that have helped me to get to this point in life. Wendling bleeds competition, and he could turn any drill into a game. Yes, he was hard on us, but those 3 years, those 3 banners that are up in the gym right now, I can walk in and point to those and know that Coach, if we didn't have Coach, those wouldn't be up there. After every practice or game, we would voice as a team the good and the bad. Whether we had just beat St. Lucy's in 3 or got our butts kicked, there was always room to improve. That's one thing that Coach was really, really good at, bringing the team together. I blame my pasta addiction on Coach for all the team dinners that we had. My fondest memories from Ayala were being a part of such a great program and all that stemmed from Coach. His passion and generosity to the program will be sorely missed. Thank you.
Andy Karasik, followed by Greg Karasik, followed by Pamela Santos.
Hello, board members, and thank you for taking the time to hear what I have to say. My name's Andy Karasik, and my daughter Brianna is a junior at Ayala and has been playing for Coach Wendling for 3 years. Since I, as a parent, do not spend hours with Coach Wendling, my focus in my speech is going to be on the number of things he does for the program and the girls. Coach Windling spends countless hours structuring and organizing volleyball tournaments in the summer and preseason at Ayala. These tournaments have at least 40 schools participating. This generates money for Ayala's volleyball program. Because of this, the volleyball program is one of the lowest costing sports to participate in at Ayala for the athletes, because with the money accumulated at these tournaments, it brings the cost down for the girls and their parents. Doing this also takes a tremendous amount of time away from his family, and this shows his dedication and selflessness. This summer, he also arranged to take the varsity team to the men's and women's Olympic volleyball team, as you had heard. But the girls got to pose for selfies and shag balls and get autographs from all the athletes, which was a highlight for them. The other parents at the last board meeting were complaining about how Coach Holt's sand volleyball practice had his home in the summer. What they didn't say is there's 2 female assistant coaches there this past summer and a team parent there during the practice. This practice is structured for fun. They blare music and they are having fun while not even being aware of the conditioning workout they're getting by playing volleyball in the sand. Once practice is over, the team parent has prepared breakfast waiting for the girls to eat and bond over a meal in his backyard. If parents were truly uncomfortable with this practice at the coach's home, why'd they let their daughter go? Or why didn't they sit there during the practice? And every Halloween, he fills plastic pumpkins with candy and treats to pass out to each girl and decorates the plastic pumpkin with their name and their team number. He even did this year amidst all the drama surrounding him and the team. In conclusion, I'd like to say that no coach is perfect. However, what I see from this coach is not the monster he's been made out to be. This attempt at a character assassination is shameful and full of bitterness brought on by something I don't see. Now that he has resigned, it is pointless to argue over he said, she said comments. But in the future, I'd like to caution the board and administration not to get caught up in parental involvement of such a serious allegation unless they have heard it firsthand. The players are the ones who are with the coach for hundreds of hours a season, and they should be the yardstick used when determining the fate of a coach's character and his job. Thank you.
Greg Karasik, followed by Pamela Santos, followed by John Clark.
Yeah, my name is Greg Karasik. My daughter is Brianna, as mentioned. She has played volleyball for Bernie Windley for 3 seasons. Knowing that Coach Windley had no intention of resigning from his coaching career at Ayala, I can only assume that he was either forced to resign by the administrators of this school district, or, given the months that this school district took to perform this investigation, maybe the public humiliation drove him to say, you know what, I've had it, this is enough. Either way, I'm here out of respect for a good man with a great heart and someone that truly cared for these girls in a society where that type of characteristic is hard to find. However, I'm also here because the school district should understand the damage that was done to the team as a whole, the student athletes individually, and the friendships that are permanently lost due to the inability of you guys to come to a thorough but yet efficient decision on his coaching. The months that elapsed after the students were interviewed by the school VP allowed parents that had little to no direct knowledge of what really goes on with the coach to begin a month-long campaign during the season to get coach fired. These are the same parents that permitted their child to play under this supposedly abusive environment for 1, 2, 3, even 4 years, and just now have decided that his coaching style is not suitable for their daughter. Is there an agenda there? Absolutely. Is it shameful? Absolutely. Even if a small percentage of the accusations said about Coach Windley by those parents were true, the fact that they still allowed and encouraged their child to spend their summer and fall with this coach speaks volumes. Those parents took over this process from their child and created a much louder drumbeat with these students, which pitted the pro-Windley students against the minority of the ones that were against him, and it created a permanent divide. Not exactly sure who won here, but the girls certainly lost given the deep divide. My final comment to the board is, when the school administration receives a complaint, you need to be willing to conduct the interviews with the kids that are being impacted and then make a decision. By allowing this process to go on for months, you ruin the relationship the team had. You essentially fired a coach during the season without actually saying the words, and demonstrated to the parents your lack of concern for both the players and coach by allowing this process to take on a life of its own.
Pamela Santos, followed by John Clark.
Good evening, Superintendent Joseph, President Cruz, board members, staff, and guests. My name is Pamela Santos. I am a parent of 3 children who attend Oxford Preparatory Academy in Chino. Our family has been fortunate to have been part of the school since it opened in 2010. My oldest daughter started in the 1st grade, and she is now a 7th grader. My other children then followed and are now in the 3rd and 5th grades. The past 8 months have been a time of anxiety and uncertainty since the March 17th denial vote. As a parent, it was very difficult to see the disappointment in my children's faces and try to explain what happened. Their hearts were broken when they heard that there was a possibility of their school closing. Although we have been through a lot these past few months, it has also been a learning and eye-opening experience. The teachers and administration at OPA have been wonderful at keeping the parents up to date and keeping an open line of communication. Despite these challenges, the teachers and staff have continued their commitment to excellence, and the students continue to thrive. My children love their school and just want to continue going there without any anxieties. In a world where there is so much uncertainty and division, OPA has united many families together. We are hopeful that our school, which has been a shining light in so many families' lives, will be given the chance to continue being a school of choice not only for my family, but also the hundreds of families that attend there. As the time gets closer for you to vote, please keep in mind the 1,200 children who love their school. Imagine if they were your own children or grandchildren. These children enjoy seeing their friends at school, playing sports, being in band, volunteering as Be Kind ambassadors, and being leaders in the community, having fun in chess club, and so much more. How would you feel if this was all taken away? The OPA administration has made every effort to address the board's suggestions and concerns. As elected board members, you all have a duty to honor your commitment to do what's best for the children. If your number one priority is the best interest of the children, then your vote should be easy. Please renew Oxford Preparatory Academy for another 5 years and allow the children to continue learning at their wonderful school. Thank you.
John Clark, followed by La Cresta Gatewood, followed by Don Bridge.
I'm reading this for my daughter, Erin Clark, who's a student athlete at Portland State University. She played for Coach Winling for 4 years, and here's what she had to say. I have played competitive sports since the age of 9. I have had plenty of coaches who coached Olympics, and some were Olympians themselves, but never have to have a coach care for me like Windling. He gave me constructive criticism, which is something that needs to be given in the sports world. I understand that high school volleyball is sometimes played for fun, but it is still taken seriously by some. Still taken seriously by Windling and many of the girls on the team. As a Division I athlete, I've heard far worse from coaches throughout my high school club career. I was told that I was too short, I'm overrated, it was my fault we lost the match, and so on and so on. None of these ever came from Windling. Yes, these things might be hard to hear sometimes, but that's how life is. I use it as constructive criticism and used it to make myself better. Honest words, even though they sometimes are hard to hear, do not warrant someone losing their job. There are plenty of times when Windling got on me, sometimes more than others because he expected more from me. I too was put on the junior varsity as a freshman, not as punishment, but because I wasn't doing my part. That trip to JVs motivated me and made me realize I need to work harder and get better. I was also given a comparison, my older sister who also played for Windling in the same position. Those were big shoes to fill, but he was doing it to motivate me, not tear me down. As much criticism as he gave me, it always came with an equal amount of praise. Never in my 4 years have I heard Windling be verbally abusive or speak demeaning manner to any one of his players, including myself. Is he honest? Yes. When playing competitive sports, you want someone who is going to be honest about you as a player and your role on the team. Sure, sometimes he was harsh and blunt, but never would he attack one of the girls. That being said, there are so many other aspects to him as a coach. The importance he stresses on having respect for yourself, the importance of family, friends, sticking together as a team, and being there for each other, taking pride in yourself and your schoolwork, and just hands down loving what you do. Maybe competitive sports aren't for everyone. According to NCAA.org, only 0.7% of high school volleyball players go on to play Division I at the Division I level, and there is something to be said for that. Bernie helped me get there. The point I'm trying to make is that Windling is the same to everyone. It doesn't matter if you are a star player, bench player. His goal is to make you a better player, period, make you mentally stronger. One more thing, too, if I got a moment. I don't know how we get this man back. If we can do that, he's one of the best men I know. I've known him since he got there, the first year he got there. And he's a good, good man. And he got thrown under a bus, and it's not right, and we need to fix it. Thank you.
La Cresta Gatewood, followed by Dawn Bridge, followed by Sharon Duran.
Good evening, Board. My name is Lucretia Gatewood, and I'm here on behalf of my daughter, Giselle Gatewood. This was her first year as a freshman playing varsity for Coach Windling, and she had the best experience of her life. She was a part of the every morning going to play at 7 o'clock, and this is a lot for a teenager who's coming from junior high to be up by 6 o'clock to be at practice at 7. Not only was she at the regular practices, but she also participated in the sand practices at Coach Windling's home. And she never had a negative word to say about him. She had a very positive experience. And as a parent, that's something that you want to see in your daughter growing as an athlete. And she's had very many coaches from playing club volleyball. And she's had good coaches and bad coaches. And Coach Windling was a very good coach. And he inspired his girls. And I saw the team bonding that the girls participated in. And my husband coached girls basketball in high school at Western Christian, and he would tell me, you know, you say things to build up girls, you don't say things to disparage them. And if you do say something, you're doing that to inspire them, to instill character in them. And it's not always about winning. It's about making these girls confident, making them better players, and making them better people. And I believe Coach Windling did that. He made these girls better players and better people. And for my daughter and for these other girls who won't have the opportunity to be coached under Coach Windling, it's a shame. And like the gentleman before me said, we need to fix this. Thank you.
Dawn Bridge, followed by Sharon Duran, followed by Naveen Adley.
President Cruz, board members, Superintendent Joseph, staff, and guests. My name is Don Bridge, and first of all, I would like to congratulate the Chino Hills High Choral Group tonight, and their choral music program is just terrific. Also, I want to congratulate the three incumbents on your re-election to the board. It was a hard-fought, very close campaign, as shown by the results. As a public service for those who have not been following the county elections website, I want to give you the results as of 4 p.m. today. Andrew Cruz, 22,425. Irene Hernandez-Blair, 21,773. James Knott, 21,541. Don Bridge, 20,840. Joe Schaefer, 17,751. Mia Ontiveros, 14,965. Lily Valdivia Rodriguez, 5,183. I think what you'll notice in these results, you have 4 candidates in this district over 20,000 votes. I think that's the first time it's ever happened in this district. There were just 701 votes that separated myself from third place. I would like to thank everyone who supported my campaign, including ACT, the concerned parents of Chino Valley Unified School District, many other community members, and of course my wife Jan, who is right alongside me on this journey to Election Day. I was proud to run with Joe Schaefer and, of course, Irene Hernandez-Blair. Our vote totals clearly showed that we care about this district, as do many in this community. And finally, Mr. Cruz, I would be remiss if I didn't comment on your closing remarks at the last board meeting. As a librarian in the Paris Union High School District in Riverside County, you yourself being a member of the Paris Secondary Teachers Union, you should know that your collective bargaining contract remarks aimed at ACT insulted the teachers in this district, as they are ACT members. As Mr. Hancock correctly explained 2 weeks ago, when the entire contract is up for renewal, as it is this year, by law you have to sunshine the entire contract. That doesn't mean you have to negotiate it sentence by sentence. Both sides may decide that one or more articles are fine and can be set aside. But that is done in bargaining, not from where you're sitting tonight. I personally took offense to your remarks as one of the candidates that you were referring to in this election. You gave the impression that I or the other candidate, Mr. Schaefer, was going to give away the store. Well, being on the CTA Board of Directors for 9 years, I was on the management side of bargaining against the 2 CTA staff unions. I fully understand the process. After looking at your contract in Paris, where teachers top out at $107,000 and librarians with 10 extra days top out at $112,000 and have a better benefits package than our district, I would hope that now that you've been reelected, you would be asking how to get things done in a similar way here in Chino Valley for both employee associations as your teachers union has done for you and your
I'm
members.
sorry, you're out of time.
Thank you.
Sharon Duran, followed by Naveen Adley, followed by Valerie Evans.
Good evening, Board and Superintendent Joseph. My name is Sharon Duran. I'm a parent in the district. On Friday, November 4th, 2016, Walnut Avenue Elementary celebrated its 50th anniversary. Following the assembly on campus, I was approached by school board member Mr. Na. Mr. Na stated, "I've been watching your student. I noticed when he talks, he is shy and not sure of himself. I can tell he has hate and hurt in his heart. Your son needs to be a servant of God to get out the evil he has in his heart. I will pray for him and for you." Please note that the evening before, on November 3rd, 2016, Chino Valley Unified School District Board voted and adopted Board Policy BB 9010.5 that states, "When acting in their official capacity and when speaking on behalf of the district, board members shall not proselytize and shall be neutral towards religion and or non-religion." When Mr. Na said is a direct violation of Board Policy BB 9010.5. I find it interesting that on November 19, 2015, my son spoke at board meeting, thanking Mr. Na and Mr. Cruz for attending McTeacher's Night. Also presented them with school shirts. It was my son's idea to thank them publicly and gift them the shirts. Yet Mr. Na referred to my son as if having an evil heart. There is absolutely no valid reason to ever say that to a child's parent, that you believe they have hate, hurt, and an evil heart. I have personally witnessed Mr. Cruz and Mr. Na disregard board policies in the past. I will not stand by and remain silent. Thank you.
Naveen Adley, followed by Valerie Evans, followed by Andrew Vesti.
Good evening, President Cruz, board members, and Superintendent Joseph. My name is Naveen Adley. I am a proud parent of an OPA Saddleback Valley student and 8th grader. This is his first year at OPA. We left a school that we had been at for years and years to go to OPA. For a junior hire, that's a strong statement. It was very difficult for him to move, but after his first day of school, I asked him how his day went. He said, "Mom, that was the best day ever. I can't wait to go back tomorrow." I can tell you from a junior hire that is not something I would have ever expected to hear. I am also a proud board member of the OPA board. I am the treasurer. My background that I bring to the board is 25 years of financial leadership experience. I have been in roles from audit, budgeting, planning, strategic planning, financial planning. As I came into the board, I was surprised, excitedly surprised, of all the changes that were made at OPA, from the business office to all of the processes that were put in place to create transparency and process in all of the financial activities at the school. These are things that occurred, obviously, for obvious reasons. And we know now that these are things that were necessary to happen. In addition to these processes and transparencies that were created, we also severed all ties with Ed Lighton and are now continuing, and all of their management, and are continuing to follow through on the commitments of any requirements that were asked from us by FICMAT. And we are devoted as a board and as a school leadership team to continue this school. We urge the board to strongly consider the charter renewal for OPA Chino Valley so that we can continue the great educational experience that our children are experiencing that follow the student achievements, safe schools, and positive climate, and so much more at OPA. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Valerie Evans, followed by Andrew Vesti, followed by Candy Reyes.
Hi, good evening. My name is Valerie Evans, and I am a proud parent of 2 Oxford Preparatory Academy champions. And I'm here tonight to discuss with you a few things that have come to my husband and I's attention as we go through this renewal process. We are business owners and have lived in Chino now for a number of years, and we have several friends that either work in the district or teach in the district. Some of them longtime high school friends of mine that just ended up all together in Chino. It's a little concerning to us. Several of them have come to us knowing our plight with OPA. They were in the midst of the renewal and shared with us things that are being said at their school sites or in the district office, comments that are made about it's already over, it's over come June 30th, the district has big plans for your campus come July 1st. A lot of things that are making presumptions. And so it's very disturbing to us since we're here before you. We've not even had a vote yet. So as we anticipate coming to the vote, it's hard to hear these comments and wonder, are they rumors? Are they being said? How does this all get started? So, especially when some of those sentiments have been echoed to our own staff as they meet with, members of the board or they meet with people in the district office. And we have a very solid community and a family base at the OPA, and all we're looking for is a fair shake. And we've been here before and we've said those things. So it is hard to hear this in social media. It's hard to hear this to your face. When again, all we're looking for is a reasonable and fair shake to hear the information, to know the changes that we've made. We're already reeling from the betrayal of many things, as you know. I won't go into the details again. There are a lot of things that we believed as parents that have changed. There's a lot of things that our students, my daughter's in 8th grade, are old enough to understand that grown-ups have made mistakes. So as we're having these conversations with them, I'm trying to instill in her, especially in 8th grade, we're doing democracy and due process, Bill of Rights, that it will be fair, that there's no decision been made yet. So I hope that is the case. We want to have a working relationship with you, and I think one of my biggest fears is that we'll get to the night of the vote, and one of the rumors that we've heard is that, well, CVUSD's already done an audit, they actually have information, they're just waiting to share it, to drop the other shoe on the night of the vote, which is very, very concerning to me, because in a working relationship, we don't want to come before you and have a gotcha or I told you so. We want to have a relationship and an open communication where if you need something from us, our administration, we're here. They work tireless hours. I thank them. We've cried, we've laughed, we've reflected on many of the things that have happened over the time. But I guess as I come to leave, many people said don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just please understand that those are our babies. And so there's 1,200 of them. And I just leave this with you tonight, just a small thing, that I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling that you have received. And so you are instilled with that power as a board, the 5 of you. So please, I understand that you take that job seriously and that you would just consider this and be sure that you have an open mind as you go forward to the vote. Thank you very much.
Andrew Vesti, followed by Candy Reyes, followed by Rochelle Carruthers.
Good evening, President Cruz, members of the board, and Superintendent Joseph. Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak with you tonight. My name is Andrew Vesti, and I'm the new Vice Chairman of OPA for the Board of Directors. I'm also the proud father of 3 kids who attend OPA Chino Valley. Since I only have a few minutes, I'll get right to the point. The OPA that you knew previous is completely different than today. I'm honored to serve on the board and happy to report that our entire team has implemented major reforms to make OPA strong today and into the future, and here are a couple of quick examples. First, you should know that changes are already being made. At a previous board meeting, we amended our policy requiring the board to approve checks for certain dollar amounts. We reduced the minimum amount by half so that the board has more fiscal accountability. But we are going a step further by reviewing all fiscal management policies and rewriting them as needed. We're also addressing past concerns by directing our executive team to make personal changes where they are needed and reviewing our bylaws to ensure full accountability and, most importantly, transparency. You should also know that in July, we earned initial accreditation from the WASC, which means we met the criteria for full accreditation based on their history of supporting a high-quality program, sustainable into the foreseeable future. This is real progress, and it speaks directly to the quality of education and enrichment our students are receiving at OPA. That's why community leaders such as Senator Leyva, Supervisor Hagman, Jed Wallace from CCSA, and the editorial writers at the Inland Valley Daily Bulletin are supporting our charter renewal efforts. Lastly, and most importantly, I believe a strong relationship between our organization and our chartering agency is very important. Communication is key, and the new board will make a promise to you that what has occurred in the past will not be tolerated, and people will be held accountable. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just scratching the surface of the OPA of today, and as a law enforcement professional, I'm proud to be part of it. Superintendent Joseph, with all due respect, I haven't always agreed with some of the public statements, but I hope that we can build some sort of communication, and as public servants, we are held to a higher standard and should not let our personal feelings dictate our decisions. President Cruz and members of the board, I'm grateful for your hard work on behalf of our community, and I'd ask you to put the past behind us and take a closer look at the new OPA. Think about my kids and the countless others you'd help by approving our renewal request. Thank you.
Candy Reyes, followed by Rochelle Carruthers, followed by Naomi Minogue.
Good evening, President Cruz, fellow board members, and Superintendent Joseph. I wanted to come tonight and to read a letter that Oxford Preparatory Academy has received. It says, "Dear Superintendent Joseph and members of the Board of Education, I'm writing to urge you to support Oxford Preparatory Academy Charter Schools petition. The OPA program offers a strong and successful public school option for students in Chino, and its approval is very important for the community. Both through my visits to the school and through following state testing results, I have seen the success that OPA students are having and the joy that parents express regarding attending OPA schools. As President and CEO of the California Charter Schools Association, our organization works closely with more than 1,200 charter schools who serve more than 600,000 students in California. Our organization focuses on creating a public educational environment that allows all students to have a high-quality choice for their specific educational needs and goals. CCA not only supports charter schools that are meeting student needs, but we also call for the closure of charter schools that are not succeeding academically. OPA is clearly succeeding academically and should be approved locally without the need for appeal to the County of San Bernardino or the California Department of Education. As the oversight entity, the Chino Valley Unified School District, working in partnership with the school, can ensure that any potential changes to the operations of the organization are completed if necessary, and more students can be served by the successful and innovative educational program. I urge the Chino Valley Unified School District Board of Education to authorize the OPA petition and allow OPA to operate as an authorized charter school of the district. Should you have any further questions about this school or support, please do not hesitate to contact me at CCSA, and it's signed Jed Wallace, President and CEO. And I again urge you, each and every one of you, as you are the governing board of Chino Valley, to take into account each and every one of our students as parents, as grandparents, to hear our voice. We don't think we're better than anybody. My children went to El Rancho. I was a PTA mom for 12 years, 10 years as a president. I take that serious. We are not at all discriminatory at our school. I'm Hispanic. If you don't notice, I don't speak Spanish, but I am. We're not discriminatory. We do what's best for kids. Please keep that in mind when you vote. Thank you.
Rochelle Carruthers, followed by Naomi Minogue, followed by Kathy Osmond.
Good evening. I am here today because I woke about a week ago in a world that I no longer recognize. A world in which discrimination against individuals on the basis of race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and religion is apparently sanctioned at the highest levels of our government. It's easy to look at images on the television or images that come through our social media of violence, of churches being burned to the ground, of graffiti, of racial slurs, and to assume that these are happening to people that are not like us in places that are far away. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. I serve on the board of directors for the House of Ruth. The House of Ruth is a domestic violence shelter that serves the people of the Inland Empire. In the days immediately following the election, 2 of our clients felt compelled to remove their children from school. They did this because their children were bullied. Were told the police were coming for them, that they would be taken from their mothers and sent to live in Mexico, a place they do not remember. I'm here today because I hold myself accountable to raise children that respect and embrace the diversity of our family, our human family. But I'm also here today because I hold you accountable to create a safe space for each and every child to receive a quality education in an environment free from discrimination and prejudice based on their race, on their ethnicity, on their gender, on their sexual orientation, on their religion, and on the makeup of their family. We need your commitment to inclusive protection of our children now more than ever. Thank you for your time.
Naomi Minogue, followed by Kathy Osmond, followed by Trent Thacker.
Good evening. I'd like to start out by congratulating all of the incumbents on their re-election last Tuesday, Mrs. Hernandez-Blair, Mr. Cruz, and Mr. Na. As we move forward, I'm hopeful that the board will take a chance to look at the state of our district and work together to ensure all student-related issues are addressed in a timely manner. For example, I would like to see that the board please work on the unresolved issues of the resolution of AB 1266 and Prop 8. It takes the majority to rescind the resolutions, and it is past time, this needs to be put back on the agenda. Mr. Cruz, as president, I would like for you to please, thank you. I'd like your attention. Thank you. Having resolutions for these does not erase the law. It only serves to continue to keep these issues under the carpet, and that is no longer acceptable. On October 21st of 2013 in the Daily Bulletin, then President Sylvia Roscoe said, and I quote, "If it does indeed become law, the board will have to address the issue. And I also agree that we have to represent all students," end quote. So in December, the presidency will change hands. I would like to respectfully ask the new president to put this before the board, to rescind the resolutions. Although the board remains the same, your thinking process for these resolutions cannot. It's time to work together and listen to your district families and to one another. Growth and positive change is within your hands. You must address these issues and come up with acceptable resolutions for all of our children. In the same article, Board Member James Naw was in favor of the proposed ballot initiative that would freeze the law and said he would sign any resolution to protect the safety of the children. I'm going to read this quote because I don't think it's in tandem with AB 1266 as it pertains to our district. The quote from Mr. Naw says, "If I went into a women's bathroom, I more than likely would be cited, arrested, or jailed easily," he said. "This could jeopardize so many women." And I agree with that statement, Mr. Naw, if you were not in our school district as a student. Again, I respectfully ask the board and the president who will be in place in December to please show documentation of any alleged or any problems that we have had with non-transgender students by transgender students as a result of AB 1266, which was put into law in January of 2014. Thank you very much.
Kathy Osman, followed by Trent Thacker, followed by Sherry Thacker.
I have some paperwork I would like to give to the board. Can I leave it with someone? I feel I should apologize for having brought my issue tonight. It seems like you already have way too much on your plate. But we do have concerns, and we would like to bring them before you. Good evening. I'm Kathy Osman. I'm giving kind of an overview, and I have a lot of parents here, not that many, that also have this concern. We know from recent political developments that we should pay attention to the felt needs of the public. Many families of GATE students feel they are not being listened to. Time and again, I meet people who say their GATE child is not being sufficiently challenged and that they are not able to find a proper placement in the district for their gifted child. One kindergartner reading at the 4th grade level was punished for constantly wandering away from the reading circle. He was moved to OPA and there was put on homeschooling. He needs to be in school for the socialization and to continue his advanced learning, but he can't be in school without the challenge of a gifted child placement. Another parent asked the district for a recommendation for a class where his gifted child might be better challenged. He was told that since all teachers are being trained in GATE education, any teacher could do what was needed. Clearly, the district is not hearing the message that parents do not feel every teacher is doing what is needed. What do GATE students need? They need to be taught differently because they learn differently. First, they need to be able to test out of some units of study. If at the outset they can prove that they already know the material, they should move on and not waste time while others learn it. Secondly, GATE students should move through material at a faster pace. GATE students need only 3 repetitions, including extensions and applications, to get a new concept, whereas regular education students require 7 repetitions. That means that in a regular class, GATE students are not gainfully employed for over half of the day. Thirdly, GATE students thrive on challenge. Start a unit saying it'll be long and some parts difficult, but significant in their lives, and they'll say, bring it on. Non-GATE students do not want to hear long and hard at the beginning of a unit. They'll close down. Finally, GATE students get into things. If I said to a class of GATE students, no math homework, they'd say, no math homework, I'm going to have math withdrawal. As you can see, GATE education is not just a choice of extra projects for those who have done their work early. At the very least, a class with GATE identified in it is a combo. You teach the regular ed kids, and then they do the seat work, and you teach the GATE cluster. Magnet or clustering is needed, but in many schools in our district, they say they don't cluster. and the magnet classes are either gone or on their way out. What
I'm
a terrible
sorry, you're
thing
out of
to be
time.
wasting a gift.
Trent Thacker, followed by Sherry Thacker, followed by Manpreet Khan.
Good evening, Board. My name is Trent Thacker, and I'm going to speak to you tonight about the GATE program in the Chino Valley Unified School District. According to my research, there is a basic California state education law requiring every student to be educated to the best of his or her ability. That is the basis of the mandated education of special education students. It is also the basis for GATE education, except that the exact way that GATE education is delivered is up to each school district. A plan has to be submitted to the state and approved. According to the Chino Valley website, our plan says we will have magnet GATE classes where all of the students in the class are GATE identified. Participation is by lottery. In addition, at every school, all of the GATE students at each grade level are to be clustered together in one room. This is called the cluster program. Presently, we are not in compliance with either of these self-chosen GATE education delivery methods. Placing the magnet at Borba has effectively eliminated the second and third grade GATE magnets. Only the grandfathered fourth, fifth, and sixth grade GATE classes at Rhodes remain. In many schools, the cluster classes are also being eliminated. At schools like Country Springs and Rolling Ridge, administrators agree that the school policy is to divide the GATE-identified students more or less equally among the classes at a grade level. Yes, they do have the lesson extensions required by the Common Core, but that's not GATE differentiated curriculum, and that's not clustering. I respectfully request that my GATE-identified third grade child be given a cluster or magnet class placement. At his present school, where clustering is not done, he wastes time and gets into trouble because he is bored. Whereas in the fourth grade math class, he is allowed to attend because of his skill set and abilities. He is a model child. He is a GATE student all day, not part of the day, and he needs to be in a GATE class all day. Thank you.
Sherry Thacker, followed by Manpreet Kaur, followed by Lillian Zhang.
Good evening. My name is Cherry Thacker, and I'm a parent of a GATE-identified student. It used to be that some schools said they did not do GATE because they sadly just didn't have any GATE students. With universal second grade GATE testing, that no longer can be claimed. Every school should cluster. Gifted students need to learn from each other. It helps their emotional well-being to know there are other GATE kids who think as they do. Also, it helps develop their creativity. They stimulate ideas in each other and brainstorm together. For just the same reasons entrepreneurs are clustered together in Silicon Valley. Also, at some schools, there would be enough GATE students at a grade level, plus a few high achievers, to almost make a magnet, or all GATE classroom. Then students could finish their basic curriculum and do some seriously significant service project, research something, and act on their findings for positive change and benefit the community. The class might enter a future problem-solving competition, study some topic under STEAM guidelines, which science, technology, engineering, the arts, and math, or launch a significant arts endeavor. This would be educating our students to the best of their abilities and getting back America's edge as the best in education and innovation. Thank you.
Manpreet Kaur, followed by Lillian Zhang, followed by Hannah Chen.
Good evening. My name is Manpreet, and I'm a parent to a GATE child, and I'm also an advocate member. So today I would like to share my views on rights of other students and rights of teachers. Some say that it wouldn't be fair to put all the GATE kids in one class. It's un-American, it's not democratic. Well, that's not true, unless it's also not fair to try out kids for the football or baseball team and only groom those who show talent or potential. Actually, it is less elitist to do gate clustering than to train a football team. Because in football, those who don't get chosen for the team don't get to do it at all. In school class formation, all the kids get to do it and thrive. That's been proven at Country Springs last year when we did universal access half an hour a day by homogeneously dividing our students into high, middle, and low performing student groups. Each grade level studied a different Care de Camelo book. The top group came up with all sorts of great insights in class discussion, but also the cream rose to the top in all the groups. The middle group came up with equally great insights, and even the bottom group had great insights. It's amazing what low-performing students can do when encouraged and all those know-it-alls are out of the way. Clustering also makes it easier for the teacher to be able to approach the topic according to each level, rather than to try to cover them all in one explanation. Magnet and clustering grouping methods work for great students, and they work equally well for all students. Thank you.
Lillian Zhang, followed by Hannah Chen, followed by Amanda Welsh.
Good evening. My name is Lillian Zhang, and I'm a member of Advocate, and I'm a mother of gay identified student of the CVUSD. I'm here to talk about emotional needs. Gay students need to be in a magnet or clustered with other gay students because they need to feel they are not alone or weird, because they wanted to study something in depth, because they obsess about being good enough, or because they get really upset by the wrongs in the world. Many people think gay students don't need any help. They are smart. They don't have any worries. That's wrong. Being able to understand a lot about the world can make you very anxious. Gay students know the world expects a lot of them, and they are often very self-critical. It is true that the suicide rate is very high among gay students. Gifted students need to be with like-minded people to get through all of this. They need to be able to think with other motivated kids what they might do to help rather than ignoring alone. One example I heard was about a gay student who, after hearing about the plight of animals under climate change, got really upset and went under his desk. He said, "Stop the world, I want to get up, I want no part of this." Only after his teacher assured him there were things they could do. Maybe they would have a bake sale and give the money to an environmental organization that was working to save the animals. Only then did he come out from under his desk so he could help try to save the animals. Gay students need help to ensure their supersensitivity to the tragedy to the world, but they also need to be together to enjoy the pure joy of learning. Nothing is so joyous as a bunch of brains that are onto something. Gay students need to be together to brainstorm and create. They need to be together to be inspired, not bored. And they need to be together to find a friend who understands them. Then they can really learn. Thank you.
Amanda Welsh, followed by Deanna Campana, followed by Gabby Clavel. Did I miss that one?
No, you called her name. We wrote it down.
Oh, Hannah Chen, yes.
Good evening. My name is Hannah Chen. I'm a mother of 2 gay students in this school district. I'm speaking on the behalf of Advocate. The benefits to the district to have the gay program. Keeping our adopted gay structure of magnet and cluster classes is beneficial to the school district in several ways. First of all, it keeps our high-performing students within our school district, rather than having them go to other districts looking for the kind of education. Secondly, it improves the reputation of our district and attracts the best teachers. Finally, teachers are less stressed and can deliver better teaching because they have to teach on fewer levels at a time. To make it fair, Teachers can trade off teaching the GATE level 1 year, the ELD level the next, and the middle level the next. Of course, most important, we will be educating all of our students to the best of their ability. Thank you.
Amanda Welsh, followed by Deanna Campana, followed by Gabby Clavel.
Hi, my name is Amanda Welsh, and I'm a parent at Oxford Preparatory Academy. As you well know, this is clearly a dire and critical time for Oxford. As parents, we feel a sense of responsibility. We placed an unwavering and unquestioning trust in the founder and the administration. We believe the success of our students and the amazing teachers and staff validated that trust. Therefore, we failed to closely watch decisions that were being made and approved by a board that we now see were clearly not in our students' best interests, and that left the doors open for possible and devastating corruption. We are happy to report we now have a parent majority on the board. A small group of parents created a demand for this program, which has now reached Orange County, because parents had a vision for a school. It is sad and even ironic that we are here today. Moving forward, we expect a full and complete transparency, an end to nepotism, and the expulsion of every individual who participated or allowed others to participate in the theft from our students and the gross abuse of trust. We fully support the removal of anyone who was involved in corruption within our program. We are here tonight because we are asking you to let our program remain for our kids and teaching staff who are innocent in all of this. Our kids depend on you. Please do what is right. And that's it.
Deanna Campana, followed by Gabby Clavel, followed by the final speaker, Ann Jones.
I'm back. My name's Deanna Campana, rhymes with lasagna. Do you remember? So I'm here once again to speak for the teachers, parents, and children of OPA. Now, hopefully, you won't forget about us when you're making that life-changing decision. We, the teachers and children, feel like we are the children of a bitter divorce. We have Daddy Chino upset with Mama OPA because she did bad things. Fighting, not communicating, paying ridiculous attorney fees, both sides using the kids to get back at each other will only end in broken hearts and homes. Stop it. Please work together and save our family. I understand that there's a lot of anger and mistrust between both sides. This is not our fault. You are the responsible adults. You, as the responsible adults, need to put the kids first. As a child of OPA, I'm begging you, work with us. Whatever it takes, our family must survive. Thank you.
Gabby Clavel, followed by Ann Jones.
Good evening. My name is Gabby Clavel. I am here to speak on behalf of Todd Bell, Shannon Bell's father, in regards to Coach Wendling at Ayala High School. He says, quote, Shannon played for Bernie from 2011 to 2013. Shannon told me what was going on with these unfounded accusations and misstatements about Coach, and I would like to set the record straight. Unfortunately, I am in Washington, D.C. on business and cannot attend the school board meeting, but I would like my statements to at least be on the record for you and Coach. The accusations from that girl I saw on YouTube seem utterly preposterous, and there is no way that kid could possibly play Division I if she can't take even constructive coaching and criticism. My daughter had to change positions and was also demoted to JV. I am not saying it wasn't hard, but she didn't go to the school board and whine like an entitled millennial. She worked her butt off to become an outside hitter and was a solid contributor for the next 2 years. Her torn ACL and her undiagnosed celiac disease were the impediments of her future career, not Coach. Under no circumstances should Coach be removed, and I am appalled that these students are doing this. Coach was a positive influence on my daughter even when we disagreed. I have no idea why the inmates seem to be running the asylum, but it is not right. Thank you.
Ann Jones.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so long night, and I just was writing down some thoughts. First of all, until I walk in your shoes, I will always respectfully address all of you. So I'd like to say that to everybody in our community. That's one thing I would like to see stopped. School bashing, people bashing, whatever. Because the kids are seeing all of this, and they're picking up on all this. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I feel like all of our energy is being so wasted. I am not being utilized to my full potential because I am stressed about my school of choice right now, OPA. But I really, again, I have plans for our district. When I sub for you, already I can tell you over at Alicia Cortez, Paul is now at our school. He ran right up to me. I didn't even know he was at our school. Again, wherever I go, I already talked to the principal at Alicia Cortez. I was at Anna Borba. I voiced my concerns, things that we just need to work on. And there's so much. I feel like we're wasting our energy. It needs to be pulled together, use what's working. I want to stay at my home school that's walking distance from here to the parking lot. Okay, but I want the programs that we grew up with. So more grant writing. I mean, I'm already starting to research that. You know, we have people that can do that, parents. We just need to work together. I do want to say I feel the worst. I feel bad for our kids, but they will have a school to go to. There's so much of our staff that don't even know if they're going to have a job. So those are the ones that I do feel the worst for because they are sticking around. And I just want to thank them so much for that. Sorry. I just feel, again, we are just wasting so much energy. We can do this. We can make anything happen. We can make this district number one and have everybody come to us. What are you doing? I would love to take these top teachers. How many transfers do we have? And how many schools are they transferring to? What's wrong with these other schools? Are they not getting enough money? I've seen lunch people that look like they are so not happy. And I'm like, why? Have we surveyed our schools? We've only done a few surveys at OPA. Like, I would like to see more surveys. Even what do the teachers need? Not just with the union, but, okay, sorry. All right, good night.
Okay, let's take a 10-minute break.
The following changes are on the agenda. Business Services, item 3B2, fundraising activities, page 22 is yellow sheeted, and item 3B4, Legal Services, page 27, under Chidester Margaret A. and Associates. Correct the September invoice to read $111,435.66 for a new total of $111,945.66.
Please announce the first action item.
Item 2A1, employment contract for Leah Fellows, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources of the Chino Valley Unified School District.
Recommend the Board of Education approve the employment contract for Leah Fellows, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources of the Chino Valley Unified School District. Are there any speakers?
None.
Motion.
So moved.
Ms. Blair, second. Mr. Na. Any questions and discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Provincial vote?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. We're now on consent items. Are there any speakers?
None.
Ms. Blair, any polls?
No.
Mr. Na.
I have no polls.
Ms. Fikes?
I have 4 polls. 3C2, 3C3, 3D2, and 3E1.
Ms. Orozco?
Yes, I have one. It is 3C1, in particular, it's 16/17-20.
And I don't have any polls. For the remainder of the consent items, I have Mr. Nas, second.
Second.
Ms. Orozco, all in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Preferential?
Aye.
The motion passes by a vote of 5-0. Item 3C2, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms.
Second.
Blair, Mr. Nas, second. Comments, questions, and discussion?
This is my item. Page 35. And my question that I didn't end up getting any response to, because I did send this over, is what's the thinking on the dates for the summer school? It seems like it's almost 4 weeks from the time, 3 weeks from the time school gets out, and then boom. I don't understand why we aren't starting right away after school gets out and then giving the school some time to get the school cleaned and ready to resume. So my question is, what's the thinking on the dates?
And Dr. Carr came forward with this. So the high school summer school is starting at the usual time. And on a typical summer school, the elementary and the junior highs and the high school would all start at the same time. And the junior highs and the elementaries would end 1 week prior to the high schools. So what Mr. Carr wanted to do, because it takes a little bit more time of getting the junior high and the elementary, getting the special ed students' classes loaded and going through the IEPs and looking through all that, it would give the teachers more time to prepare for the elementary and junior high. And also for the elementary summer schools and getting everything organized. So his thinking was, can we try it 1 year where we'll all end at the same time, and rather than all start at the same time, we're going to all end at the same time, roll out the high school summer school, and put the emphasis that first week, making sure that starts really well, and then the following week, we would start the elementary and the junior high summer school. So the idea was to pilot it this year and see how that goes for 1 year, and then we'll reevaluate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hearing any more discussion? Hearing nothing further. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Preferential?
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0. Item 3D2, may I have a motion?
No, 3C3.
3C3.
Oh, yeah. 3C3.
So
May I have a
moved.
motion? Mr. Na, second.
Second.
Ms. Blair, comments, questions?
And this is the school calendar for next year, and I have been very public that I am not supportive of continuing to push the school calendar deeper and deeper into August. And recently, Glendale has rescinded their action on the school calendar, and LA Unified is rescinding their action on the school calendar, and I think we will just turn around and rescind our action in a year or two. But in the meantime, the plight of the elementary parents, and we've had many of them come and speak to us, certainly resonates with me. August is hot, September is hot. What? November's been hot for lots of reasons. But, if it were up to me, I would start school at the end of September now and go through the end of June, because June is so much cooler. And so I had to pull this item because I'm going to vote no on it.
Any more questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Preferential vote?
Aye.
The motion passes 4-0.
4-1.
4-1, I apologize for that. Item 3D2, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms.
Second.
Blair, Mr. Nas, second. Comments and questions?
So on page 43, the contract for our SROs through the city of Chino Hills is going to be increased by $10,000. $600. And I had some questions about how many people did that apply to, and my answer was it's 2, correct? 2 people. But there are also a number of other services that we receive for this, correct?
Yes, if you'd like, I can read exactly what those are as per the contract.
Well, I read it, what
Okay.
you sent me, so if other people would like to hear it. My question to you, Mr. Stachura, tonight is this contract seems like a lot of money, because what you ended up saying to me was that, yes, the city of Chino Hills is paying half. So that's $500,000 for 2 SROs and some other services. So is this contract in line with what we paid for the Chino SROs?
I don't know exactly right offhand tonight what we pay for the Chino SROs. I could get that information back to you.
You don't have to tell me exactly.
Yeah,
In your mind, do you think ballpark?
I believe they're pretty close, but again, I don't know exactly how close.
Well, I was astounded at the size of that raise and the size of the increase in health and welfare when I compare it against what we give our own folks. So, thank you for that information.
Hearing nothing further, all in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Preferential?
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0. Item 3E1, may I have a motion?
I'm sorry, that was my mistake. I
motion.
don't need 3E1, so I guess we just need to vote on it. Sorry, because
Okay.
I shouldn't have pulled it.
Okay, so let's have a motion.
So moved.
Okay, Ms.
Second.
Blair, second, Mr. Nall. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Preferential?
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0. Item 3C1, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Nall, second.
Second.
Ms. Blair?
And that is just for a vote?
Okay.
Yes, for 16/17-20.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose?
Nay.
Preferential?
Aye.
Motion passes by a vote of 4-1. We're on information items. Any questions? Okay, communications, Ms. Blair?
Thank you. I wanted to begin tonight by thanking Dr. Enfield and Mr. Rodriguez for providing the update on our Chino Valley Unified Smarter Balance test scores. I want to share that in math, and this is for all of Chino Valley Unified Schools, all schools, Wickman is #1 in math, with 78% of our students meeting or exceeding the math standards. In second place are Country Springs and Rolling Ridge, with 75% of our students meeting or exceeding the math standards. And then for English language arts, Rolling Ridge is at #1 with 87% of our students meeting or exceeding the standard. Followed in close proximity by Country Springs, which is in second place with 84%. I hope that clarifies how great our Chino Valley Unified Schools are. I want to share some upcoming events. Ayala High School's choir annual Madrigal Feast will be December 7th through the 10th at 6:45 p.m. $27 per person. That includes a very delicious meal, but an amazing event. And if you've never attended, it is very worthwhile to attend with the family. Don Lugo High School's band was invited to participate in the 2017 Pearl Harbor Memorial Parade next year in Hawaii. Way to go, Don Lugo. Caddo Elementary School fifth graders raised $1,375 to feed neighbors in their community. These are fifth graders that are showing true caring and compassion during this Thanksgiving season, so kudos to them. Lastly, I want to congratulate the new Oxford Preparatory Academy corporate board of directors, especially Andrew Vesti, because as a union president myself, I want to give him much accolades because he is president of the Fontana Police Officers Association. So congratulations, Brother Vesti. And with that, everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Mr. Na?
Yes, we had several parents talk about our GATE program, where they support a cluster and magnet classroom setting. So I'd like to ask Mr. Joseph, see if we can look into very popular or very successful other districts' programs that we can make it even better and meet the needs of our parents there at GATE program. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. And also, I was able to talk to, and we heard many other students and parents who came in support of our coach, volleyball coach. And I think it is very important that we look into both sides of the story and look into support our staff members. One of the parents had a concern that sometimes that we're driven by just a few individuals who makes claims during our board meetings, and she was worried that we could be swayed by that. So I think tonight was great to see the balance and heard the stories coming out from all the students and parents too. Thank you. And our CSA restoration proposal from our CAC group, yes, let's look into the needs, and coming year, let's look at the whole picture as a district and see where the needs are so that we can serve our students better. And I'd like to thank Don Lugo High School and Chino Hills and Ayala High School, the band, group teachers and coaches and students working close to midnight. It was very impressive that all these sweats and hard work pays off in the end. I was really proud of them. And I'd like to end with Thanksgiving. Yes, even among my friends and family members and teachers, many are going through personal struggles and illness. And knowing that this life is not permanent, I think it is very important that we're not just being thankful in Thanksgiving Day, but every day. Just being able to sit next to somebody and say hello should be a Thanksgiving for me. And also, living in this great nation, still considered to be number one, and we're here. And so let's keep in our mindset that we're not here to be in a drama in daily basis, but here to make a movie, the best movie that we can make for our children. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving for all of you. Thank you.
Ms. Fikes?
I love Thanksgiving. I think I love Thanksgiving because it's a time for us to come together and there are no gifts. So no pressure, just to enjoy each other. And so I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I don't want to sound like a crazy woman tonight, but I did want to speak a little bit about the election. First of all, congratulations to all three of the incumbents who have stepped again to the dais. I know we can work together, and we have a lot to do, so I look forward to that. This election, national election, was hateful and divisive and brought forth things that I never thought we would be considering as a national electorate. Our local election was fairly divisive as well. I am hoping that we can take this opportunity to gain more input, not just from the people who come to speak to the school board, and many of them are the same players, but from all of our concerned I recently went to Nordstrom's Rack. I love it. And I got a survey, as we often do, after I left. And so I completed the survey. It wasn't very long, and I've had really good luck doing things like that. 2 days later, I got a letter from the manager of Nordstrom's Rack here in Chino Hills. How much she appreciated hearing what I had to say and blah, blah, blah. I wrote him back. I said, I don't know if this is just a robo-response, but thank you for making me feel heard. He wrote me back. Mrs. Fikes, this is not a robo-response. I care what you think about our store, and I want to be responsive to all of our customers. I would like to see something like that, and I know I talked to Mr. Joseph about it initially when I came on the board, but a system where we can get continuous feedback, not just from someone who's upset in the moment, but someone who is there, and how did we do today? Because that is real information. I think part of the issue that just left people feeling so upset and hateful towards one another was the information that we got from our pollsters and the newspapers wasn't even reflective of what the general electorate thought. So how can we move forward if we don't have good information? So I'm hopeful that in the next year we could focus on a system of generating accurate information from the people we serve. That's it for me. Happy Thanksgiving.
Ms. Orozco.
Thank you. Well, let me begin with the retirements. So this evening's agenda had Linda Canone, Administrative Secretary, 26 years of service. And Linda, just a personal thanks for all your help with Citizens for Kids in the past. William Childress, 37 years of service. Thank you to both of you for the many years of service, and happy retirement. This evening's chamber singers were wonderful. I don't think we gave kudos to the director. It was Laura Rutherford, is it? Am I correct in that name? Okay, Laura Rutherford. She's been with them for several years now and has done wonderful things out throughout the years. And so kudos and congrats to all of you. This evening, Don Lugo students came to share DAL We Remember, and I don't think they gave us the date, but if I'm not mistaken, it's in April 2017, and it's a great event. Okay, so last week all the football teams were in the CIF first round, and 3 of them didn't go forward, but Don Lugo is still in it, and so congrats to Don Lugo. I was at the Ayala game, and it was close at the beginning, and they unfortunately didn't make it, so, but congrats on getting to the first round anyway. Last week, I attended the Veterans Dedication at the Community Building. What a wonderful event, and I'm amazed at how many people. It was so well attended. It was extremely well attended. It was just a great event, and so congratulations to the individuals who put that together. And I think the 2 co-chairpersons were Kevin Cisneros and Brenda Strong. Then this past week, I attended the Chino City Council meeting, and that was Mayor Yates, where he officiated his last full meeting, because he is retiring after 24 years. And so I'd just like to say congratulations for all the great work that you've done, Mayor Yates, and thank you. So at the next meeting, he will be handing the gavel over back to Eunice Ulola, so that would be nice. Board members also, when I was there, I did receive, it's Gobbler Gloves Boxing Showcase this Sunday, November 20th, and it's at the Neighborhood Activity Center. It begins at, the first bout is at 1 o'clock, but the doors open at 12. So if your Sunday is free, please stop by. Okay, let's see. And next, congratulations to the 3 incumbents. And I agree with so many who stated that we do need to move forward. We need to focus on our students. We need to focus on programs that will keep our students here. We need to focus on programs that will bring our students back. We actually used to have the IB program back in the day. We had it at Borba, Briggs, and Don Lugo. It was a costly program, and during the financial crisis, we actually had to cut it. I was very supportive of the IB programs back when they were implemented. So I just want us to be aware that if we as a board intend to bring programs, especially any program, whether it's IB or any other program that may be costly, that we commit to it, that we commit to keeping it, even through financial crisis, and that's the tough part. And so we just need to make sure that we keep that in mind. Okay, so in light of moving forward, I want to share an email that I received. It was entitled, "The Deeper You Go," and it starts, "All people have very real reasons for believing what they believe, for feeling what they feel. Your best strategy is to understand those reasons. If you want to find common ground, you have to do more than just advocate your own position. You have to listen, understand, empathize, compromise. Drama and outrage are the junk food of human relationships. They're empty calories, quickly satisfy, but provide no lasting nourishment. Understanding and cooperation are difficult, time-consuming, demanding, and humbling, yet they are what produce real progress. Problems are not solved by shouting, blaming, judgment, and recrimination. Choose instead to take a deep breath, let go of anxieties, and get to work creating value. No matter how much you differ with someone on the surface, the deeper you go, the more you'll find in common. Do the work, spend the time, care enough to create deep connections, and get great things done. And that's my hope for our district. So I hope we reflect, give thanks, and I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving."
Superintendent Joseph.
We are thrilled to learn that Claremont Police Department's newly named police chief, Shelley Vanderveen, is a Chino High graduate who grew up playing soccer with our Chino police chief, Karen Comstock, a Don Lugo graduate. Captain Vanderveen, who will assume her new post November 23rd, attended the former Gerd Elementary School, Magnolia Junior High, and graduated from Chino High in 1987. While at Chino High, she was an honor roll student and a top player on the school's cross-country, soccer, and softball teams. More than 100 Chino Valley students will have a merrier holiday season thanks to the 15th annual Make a Child Smile program to be held December 7th at Walmart in Chino. The program pairs students with Chino Valley Fire District firefighters and community leaders for a shopping spree at the store. The event also includes photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus, food crafts, and snow play. I'd like to congratulate my bosses as well, my old bosses. That's not a pejorative term since I'm older than all of you. But congratulations to the three of you. I'd like to thank the community for taking part in this election and for considering Measure G as we all await the final results on that, whenever that may come. And I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You know, there's this anticipation about our high school football season that always makes me smile. It's strange because I didn't play football myself. I actually threw the discus for 4 years, and I loved it. I love doing that. But when our football season starts, I get just as excited as the coaches and moms and dads seeing our students compete and share in their victories and share in their disappointments. For the first time in many years, I think maybe I've heard 20 years, Ayala High School and his cheer team made it to the CIF. The rewards of hours upon hours of training and the odd bumps and bruises have certainly paid off for these young student athletes. Needless to say, we're all very proud of you and thankful to everyone who puts in the extra time and support. And also, you know, the volleyball dilemma that we just heard, that's a perfect example where there's always two sides of the story, which is pretty good. But I just want to say one thing real short about the election. It was an adventure, and I'm very proud for the community and this country. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Adjournment at 9:48.